can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything going through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride. Been a long day without you.
Everyone, I would like to extend my warm greetings to all the attendants. First and foremost, I would like to express my immense gratitude to all the delegation from the United States of America, Turkey, China, Canada, and also the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, for being present here today. On this occasion, we gather to discuss the humanitarian crisis that is involving in Gaza, Palestine. Before we proceed further, let us take a moment of silence to honor all the lives lost in this conflict and acknowledge the suffering endured by thousands of individuals trapped in this inhuman situation. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Palestine has captured the attention of the international community. For several decades, the protracted conflict has led to unimaginable suffering for civilians, particularly children, women, and the elderly. The situation has resulted in disrupted access to clean water, food, adequate housing, proper healthcare service, and quality of education. In this session, we will explore several key aspects related to this crisis, including its underlying causes, the impact on civilians, and the efforts made by the international community to provide assistance and the address of the situation. Concerning the causes of the crisis, it should be noted that complex political, social, economic factors play a significant role in exacerbating the situation in Gaza. However, regardless of whatever factors have contributed to this conflict, we must not lose sight of the fact that civilians, especially children, are the most vulnerable victims in this battle. Without any further ado, I hereby officially open the session on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Palestine. Please give an biggest applause. Thank you, and right now I will give you a few minutes to introduce yourself and your country. First, let's hear it from Turkey.
Thank you to the chair, and our respect to all distinguished attendees, the chair, and the participating debate teams. As a delegation from Turkey, we are proud to present our argument today about the humanitarian crisis that hit Gaza, Palestine. We believe that countries should unite in supporting the resolution of this crisis, and Turkey is ready to play an active role in this effort. I stand before you today, embodying the voice of the Turkish delegation as we come together in this debate, simulation to address one of the most pressing issues of our time, the humanitarian crisis in Palestine, specifically in the Gaza region. With a deep sense of responsibility and urgency, we gather here to examine the multifaceted, the challenges that have plagued this region for far too long. As a nation with a rich history and profound commitment to human rights, Turkey acknowledges the importance of promoting peace, justice, and stability in the Middle East. We firmly believe that any sustainable solution to the crisis in Palestine must be rooted in empathy, compassion, and unwavering dedication to the principles of international law. The situation in Gaza has been marred by an immense humanitarian crisis, one that has caused immeasurable suffering to its people. We cannot overlook the devastating impact of violence, limited access to the vital resource, and the severe restriction of the movement of goods and people. As Turkey, we bear witness to anguish faced by innocent civilians, including women, children, and the elderly, who have endured immense hardship due to the ongoing conflict. Our delegation firmly believes in the power of diplomacy, dialogue, and collaboration to address this humanitarian crisis head-on. We recognize that no single nation or entity can resolve these complex issues alone. It is incumbent upon us to engage in constructive discussion, listen to various perspectives, and strive for a comprehensive and lasting solution that upholds the rights, dignity, and security of all individuals in the region. Turkey has long been committed to supporting the Palestinian cause, providing humanitarian aid, and advocating for their rights on international platforms. We stand ready to work hand in hand with fellow delegates to explore innovative initiatives and policies that can allay the suffering of Palestinian people and bring about sustainable future marked by peace and prosperity. In the spirit of unity and collaboration, let us embark on this debate simulation with an open mind, seeking common ground and driving the shared objective of addressing the humanitarian crisis in Palestine, specifically in Gaza. Together, we can amplify the voices of the marginalized, foster understanding, and lay the groundwork for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Turkey. So next we have the United States of America. We would like to know you, please.
The United States of America appreciates the opportunity to address these esteemed delegates today and shed light on the implementation of humanitarian law in the context of the Gaza conflict. As a country committed to upholding international norms and values, the United States believes it has demonstrated a strong commitment to humanitarian principles during this challenging situation. First and foremost, it is essential to emphasize that the United States recognizes the fundamental importance of protecting civilian lives and ensuring the welfare of those affected by armed conflicts. In the recent Gaza conflict, we took significant measures to minimize harm to civilians while still addressing the threat posed by extremist groups and safeguarding the security of our ally Israel. Our approach has been guided by international humanitarian law, in particular, proportionality and necessity. Moreover, the United States has been actively engaged in providing humanitarian assistance to the affected population in Gaza. We understand the importance of ensuring access to essential services such as healthcare, food, and clean water during times of.
Thank you to the United States of America. So next, let's move to my left. There is China right there. China, please introduce yourself.
Thank you for the opportunity I will share. China-Palestine relations encompass the long bilateral relationship between China and Palestine dating back from the early years of the Cold War. During the era of Mao Zedong, China's foreign policy was in support of the World National Liberation movements, with China extending support towards the Palestine Liberation Organization or PLO in this period. China support both Fatah and smaller militant organizations such as the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine or PFLP, and the Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine or DFLP. China recognizes the state of Palestine since 1988. Palestinian leaders Yasser Arafat and Mahmoud Abbas have both visited in China official capacities, and relations between the two countries has been considered as cordial. China does not consider Hamas ruling the Gaza Strip as a terrorist organization and officially support the creation of a sovereign and independent Palestinian state based on 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital.
Thank you, China. So now we have the last countries is Canada from our session. To Canada, please introduce yourself.
Thanks to the chair for the opportunity. We delegates from Canada will present our arguments regarding the humanitarian crisis that occurred in Gaza, Palestine. Canadian authorities announced they will provide funding assistance of $90 million America, rupiah 999 to the United Nations Agency or UN for Palestine refugees or UNRWA. Assistance was given when UNRWA experienced financial difficulty after cutting funding from the United States. As financial assistance from Canada, which amounts to nearly rupiah 1 trillion, will be provided after the next 3 years. The aid comes after last month the head of UNRWA warned that his agency was facing the worst financial crisis ever. UNRWA is known to manage school and provide health services as well as humanitarian assistance to around 5.7 Palestine with refugee status. This support will help address the growing needs of vulnerable Palestinian refugees in UNRWA 5 operational areas: West Bank, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan. The Canadian Ministry of Foreign Affairs said statement. It added the aid would enable more than 500,000 children to receive quality education and would help finance more than 140 health clinics, as well as provide shelter and food and underprivileged refugees. The needs of Palestinian refugees cannot be denied, especially during a global pandemic. They face high levels of poverty, food insecurity, and unemployment, said Canada Minister for International Development. Karina called Canada Prime Minister Justin Trudeau restored into UNRWA in 2016 after 4 years of cut by his conservative predecessor, Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Thank you.
So the last but not least, we have the organization International Committee of Red Cross, as known as ICRC. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Chair. I am from the ICRC, or the International Committee of the Red Cross, has been deeply concerned by the recent escalation of violence in the Israel-Palestine conflict. The ICRC has called on both sides to respect international humanitarian law and to protect civilians. ICRC has been working in the region for many years and has a long history of providing humanitarian assistance to both Israel and Palestine. ICRC works include visiting detainees, providing medical care, and helping to reunite family. During the recent Gaza war, the ICRC played a number of roles, including, first, monitoring the humanitarian impact of the fighting. ICRC closely monitored the impact of the fighting of civilians both in Gaza and Israel. They visit hospitals, clinics, and other places where civilians were seeking assistance. They also interviewed people who had been affected by the fighting in order to get a better understanding of the needs of the population. Second is promoting compliance with international humanitarian law. ICRC worked with both sides to ensure that they were complying with international humanitarian law. This includes laws that protect civilians and medical facilities during times of war. Third is providing assistance to the most needy. ICRC provides assistance to the most needy people in Gaza, including those who had been injured, displaced, or lost their homes. They also provide food, water, and other essential supplies. Last is restoring family links. ICRC helped to restore family links between people who had been separated by the fighting. This include helping people to find out if their loved ones were safe and helping them to reunite with their families. Thank you.
Thank you for all of delegates from countries and ICRC. We welcome you with the warmest greetings. Alright, next we will move on the main event, which is the presentation of delegates. The first delegate to present their arguments will be the delegate from the United States of America, the US delegates. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity, Chair. So, the United States is fully committed to the principles and implementation of humanitarian law in the context of the Gaza conflict. We have an effort to uphold these principles by prioritizing the protection of civilians, providing humanitarian assistance, and actively engaging in diplomatic efforts to promote peace. And it is important to recognize Israel's legitimate right to defend itself. For too long, Israel has been the target of indiscriminate rocket attacks and terrorist activities that endanger the lives of citizens. Ensuring the security and safety of its people is the main responsibility of every sovereign state. We support Israel's efforts to protect its population from this threat while urging all parties to exercise restraint and minimize civilian casualties. While challenges remain, we reaffirm our commitment to work closely with address this issue and ensure the well-being of all affected population. Thank you.
Thank you for your argument, US delegate. I will invite delegation of countries and international organizations who wish to provide their response regarding the arguments of the US delegation. Please raise the nameplate in front of you if you wish to provide a response. Okay, first to the China delegation, please to provide your feedback.
delegation would like to give an introduction to the USA delegation regarding country status as human rights country, questioning your responsibility to innocent civilians in Palestine. Why do you have continued to supply weapons and aid to Israel to continue the war? Why don't you use your power to stop Israel and give Palestine change to the
Thank you, China. So now I'll give an opportunity to US delegation to answer the question from China delegation. Okay, thank you, China, for the question. Because we have Okay, Canada, I'll give you a time to respond, please.
We are delegates from Canada would like to give a question to USA delegates. So, you directly admit that your country ignores other human rights. Doesn't your country always support other countries for human rights issues? We are here to dope your position here. We hope that your country will be more careful and rethink the history of relations with Israel. Thank you.
Thank you, Canada.
Okay, thank you for the Canada for your question. So, we are not solely human rights of the Palestinian state. We have collaborated with international organizations and local partners to deliver humanitarian aid, medical supplies, and other forms of assistance to alleviate suffering and support to the civilian population. Additionally, the United States has played a crucial role in facilitating ceasefires and diplomatic efforts to escalate tension and promote a peaceful resolution to the conflict. We have actively supported negotiations between the parties involved, encouraging the dialogue and urging a return to the negotiation table. It is also important to note that the United States acknowledged the necessity of conducting thorough investigation into alleged violation of international humanitarian law. Where there are credible reports of violation, we have constantly support transparent and impartial investigation to ensure accountability and justice. Thank you.
And now we're gonna hear an argument from Turkey.
Thank you, Chair. We believe that countries should unite in supporting the resolution of this crisis, and Turkey is ready to play an active role in this effort. Solidarity as a Muslim state, as a Muslim majority country, and with strong historical, cultural, and religious ties to Palestine, Turkey has a moral duty and responsibility to help overcome the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Solidarity with our Muslim brothers in Palestine is an underlying principle of Turkey's foreign policy, and we view that helping its sovereign population of Gaza is an integral part of our identity and values as a nation. This diplomacy and mediation, Turkey has shown a strong commitment to resolving the conflict in Gaza through diplomacy and mediation efforts. We believe that constructive dialogue and a diplomatic approach based on justice are the best ways to overcome this humanitarian crisis. Turkey has played the role of mediator in efforts to achieve a ceasefire and sustainability between Palestine and Israel. Through ongoing diplomacy, we hope to create a framework that will enable better humanitarian assistance and recovery for the people of Gaza. Humanitarian assistance and development, Turkey has provided significant humanitarian assistance to the Gaza population over the years. In dealing with the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Turkey has the capacity and experience to provide the necessary humanitarian assistance, including food, medicine, and medical equipment. Apart from that, Turkey is also committed to building social infrastructure, such as hospitals, schools, and housing, which are urgently needed to restore the living conditions of the people of Gaza. We believe that Turkey can play a significant role in driving recovery efforts and sustainable development in this region. In this debate, we have demonstrated that Turkey has a moral commitment, solidarity, and capacity to help overcome the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Palestine. Through diplomacy, mediation, humanitarian assistance, and development efforts, Turkey stands ready to contribute to finding a just, sustainable, and beneficial solution for the people of Gaza. We believe that by collaborating between countries, we can achieve real progress in addressing this humanitarian crisis. Thank you.
So now we're gonna hear an answer from China according to question from Turkey.
Alright, thank you, Chair, and thank you for Turkey delegation for the question. Where China is one want to give you guys information that actually our country is ready to work with international community to actively contribute to the realization of peaceful coexistence between Palestine and Israel, the joint development of Arab and Jewish peoples, and lasting peace and stability in the Middle East from an early age. China will continue to support the Palestinian resistance until it adopts a more diplomatic approach in the 1988 and finally establish formal relations in Israel. During the last decade of President Xi Jinping leadership, China has accelerated communication in the Middle East, especially in the economic and trade sector. The Israeli government and the National Authority are the only two Palestinians in the region effectively to formally execute civil and road initiatives, a range of international infrastructure. So China has continued to invest more heavily in the Middle East diplomacy. She would promote the intentional four-point peace plan to tackle the Israeli and Palestinian force shortly after taking power in 2018 and then offered reconciliation. The framework calls for a two-state solution including a Palestinian state based on war borders with Jerusalem is its capital, stopping Israeli settlement and restraining peace talks, coordinating international efforts to promote peace, as well as promotion peace through the development of Israeli and Palestinian cooperation. That's all my answer. I hope you guys can accept it peacefully.
Thank you, China, for the response. So now we are gonna hear an opinion from ICRC.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Finally, I will give a closing statement, like how ICRC views of the impact of this war. Like the trauma in the region get worse after each new round of hostilities. People continue to have anxiety about what will happen next. What people tell is a feeling of exhaustion, hopelessness, and a deep sense of powerlessness to see a better future of the young generation in this region. The humanitarian assistance that the people of Gaza need today cannot prevent the return of the nights of terror that are almost inevitable in the future, whether in the near future or longer. This can only happen with the political solution. People in Gaza has been very sheltered by the latest escalation, which is new round of fighting. They become worse and worse, with their livelihoods and homes once again destroyed. They are tired to talking about resilience. It is a word that only covers up, not by choice for people who are repeatedly forced to face what is left for them. I truly believe that international humanitarian law, or EHL, must be used as a reference again to address the legal and humanitarian impacts of occupation policies of the Palestinian population. Respect for EHL is not a panacea for ending burdens, but it helps pave the way to negotiate solutions. This conflict will not be resolved by investigating the Fourth Geneva issue, but simply complying with one basic obligation would be a great first step on an increasingly long and painful journey to the peace. Thank you.
Thank you, ICRC, for your great statement. Thank you, ICRC, for your great statement. And today's conclusion is the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Palestine demands immediate attention and concerted action from the international community. The situation on the ground is deeply distressing, with innocent civilians, including vulnerable women and children, enduring immense suffering due to violence, displacement, and a stark lack of basic necessities. Let us unite our resolve in addressing this urgent humanitarian crisis and working towards a brighter future for the people of Gaza, Palestine. Together, we have the power to make tangible difference and restore hope to those who are suffering. Okay, with this, it's over for our session on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Palestine. I would like to thank all the delegates from countries and international organization ICRC who have taken their time to participate in this session. I really hope that holding this trial will make the situation in Gaza even better and the conflict can be resolved. Once again, I thank you and see you soon. Let's give a big round of applause for all of us.
you.